going on, mobile filmmakers? Today we're on a street photography mission in Istanbul, and we're going to be testing the best smartphones on the planet in photo, video, log recording, everything that these flagships have to offer. So let's start. Now I know a lot of y'all think that the iPhone is the best in the video department, but surprisingly during this trip I filmed more with the Galaxy S25 Ultra than with any other phone. And how do I get this image? Well, today I'll walk you through that and show you how I use both S25 Ultra and iPhone 16 Pro as travel cameras. And preceding some of these comments, I'm really not biased because I have access to both of these flagships. So this video is actually more about which phone is more fun to me to use and which I prefer personally when I'm traveling and on the go. Before I start talking what I don't like on the iPhone, I have to tell you one thing that I wish was on the Galaxy. Because iPhone gives you two options. You can get the same camera and same pretty much everything on the iPhone Pro and iPhone Pro Max, with just a difference in battery life and screen estate. And I wish there was something similar with the Galaxy S25 Ultra. Because this kind of phone, while yes, it is good and the screen is really huge, you can see everything, but sometimes when I'm traveling, I want to have something more compact. This one, well, it's like carrying an iPad. And surely it doesn't really matter if you use it for daily use, day-to-day basis, city commutes, you don't really feel it. But when I'm traveling, I really wish it was maybe that kind of size. I have like film camera, digital cameras, microphones, all that kind of stuff. So the smaller the gear, the better. And this is partly the reason why I like the idea of flip phones so much. If you guys subscribe, then you know. Now what I really like on the S25 Ultra is its versatility. I'm using right now to monitor this video. Probably you don't see the screen as I see. There's a little bit color shift here because I'm using Vinzi filter, but that's besides the point. The thing is that I can actually monitor the image from the main camera, and at the same time I can switch into the regular photography mode and just take photos or record videos on the go. So it's a really universal tool. iPhone is also decent for that, but I just prefer larger display real estate that S25 offers. Now the software is very important, but first I want to talk about the cameras on S25 Ultra and the iPhone. You see the Samsung Galaxy camera setup just gives you more options. You've got 4 lenses, you have 3x telephoto, which is actually really useful when you're taking photos of the mid-range distance between 1 and 2 meters. And it does make big difference when I'm shooting portraits, food, street scenes, because iPhone constantly switches lenses around 1 meter distance, and it's so annoying. Samsung, on the other hand, is more easier to operate in that regard. Even though the iPhone has that aura around it that is being very hassle-free and easy to use for beginners, but I found myself actually spending less time and effort using S25 Ultra cameras in auto mode than with the iPhone, because iPhone constantly changes these lenses because of the Lidar sensor. Yes, it is very smart, but if you know what you're doing with your camera, then I prefer S25 Ultra. Well, you see, if we talk about the street photography, then obviously for me, I want to have character in the shot. That's why I think for street photography, I would prefer personally something like Xiaomi or Vivo phones that have this kind of filmic filters built in. On the Samsung and iPhone, you don't get this really. But that's not to say these phones don't have good cameras. I mean, I said that in my Vivo X200 Ultra video, that there is this broadcast kind of image that you see on TV, sports games, that kind of stuff. And then there is image that you will get with the film cameras that you see in the movies. So I want you to understand that there is two kind of images. If Xiaomi 15 Ultra and Vivo X200 Ultra with their collaborations with Leica, Hasselblad or Zeiss, whatever they have going on there, they're closer to the film spectrum and the movies, well, S25 Ultra and the iPhone are closer to that clean, sterile look. And what surprised me is how inconsistent they both are. You take two identical shots and sometimes it's S25 Ultra that gives brighter image, then you take the same shot again with the same angle and everything, and then the iPhone comes with more brighter photo. So that really proves that computational photography is almost as important as hardware built in within this phone. And when I'm looking at these images, I gotta say I have not had a single bad meal in Istanbul. That place is magical. And for street and animal photography and just daily life in general, both phones perform really well. But honestly, they feel kind of sterile. They're technically sharp, but not a lot of character there. So if I were giving you an example, it's like food without seasoning. And I'm talking about food again. And just my hot take here, I think if the software can process photos in a cinematic filmic way, then having raw photography these days on these phones isn't really important as having log videos. For videos, having log is really essential because it actually unfolds all these capabilities and allows me to color grade the footage and give this kind of filmic vibe to the shot that I would get with the photos on Xiaomi and Vivo. That's why I really like taking videos with this phone and later color grade it. Just look at this. This shot looks amazing, especially if you apply some film processing, halation and bloom effects. In that case, the footage just becomes really nice. The only thing it lacks, as opposed to the full frame setup like this one, is you don't really get this depth of field. Even right now I'm filming with wider field of view than on this phone. Let's say I film with 5x telephoto lens on S25 Ultra or on the iPhone, but I still don't get this nice separation between the foreground and the background. Everything feels like you're filming at f10 aperture, so you don't get this bokeh, but you do get the compression, which I really love and enjoy on these phones. So yes, while proper cameras do give you better image, but the convenience of having the phone just within your reach always at all times is just really nice to have this kind of feeling that no moment will escape my life. I will just be able to capture it wherever I point my camera to. And the more powerful the camera is, the better. Now, if we talk about the zoom quality, especially in low light, then S25 Ultra is just heads and shoulders above the iPhone. Just have a look for yourself. This is side-by-side shots for you. And you see how iPhone just breaks down apart and just it's so grainy, noisy. Yeah, maybe this is what you get on the sensor. And I assume this is kind of image that Samsung also gets from its sensor, but it has some internal processing that helps to remove all the noise, that helps to sharpen the image a little bit, clean it up too, and you get this result. And I'm really excited to see what Apple is going to bring with the iPhone 17 Pro. Hopefully the zoom camera will be better there, and man, that's going to be one hell of a battle for me. I'd separate filming in two categories. One would be just regular stories kind of shots, point and shoot basically. And for that, I would probably choose the iPhone, because when you use in auto mode, most of the times what you see is what you get. And the second type of videos I'm filming with these phones, when you know this shot is gonna be a banger, so you want to use and get as good of a shot as possible. And for that, I found myself reaching for S25 Ultra more, not only because it can shoot log, I mean, the iPhone also does that, but S25 Ultra gives you manual mode with all the important exposure tweaks. And in that department, when I do know that this shot is gonna be a banger, I choose the S25 Ultra over the iPhone. Now, obviously, no phone is perfect, and Samsung and iPhone have their own disadvantages. For example, if you're filming in log on S25 Ultra, you cannot really use the noise cleaner, which was a bummer for me because I was filming a lot in noisy environment and I thought I can extract some of the voice recordings from the video, but unfortunately, if you use log, for some reason it does not allow you, so we need to wait maybe for a new software update to fix it. And same with the iPhone, it also comes with its own limitations. But before I get into that, quick shout out to the INIU Pocket Rocket P50 power bank. It's one of the smallest 10,000 milliamp power banks I've ever used. Just 160 grams, pocketable, and powerful enough to output 45 watts. I'm even powering my MacBook when needed. And my favorite feature, this lanyard. It's rated to hold up to 13.5 kilos. And it's actually a built-in USB Type-C cable, so I can charge my phone or camera gear anytime, anywhere without looking for cables. It's built with INIU's Tiny Cell Pro Tech and supports Samsung Super Fast Charging 2.0. So yeah, it is fast. There's also a digital display that shows you the exact battery level, and it comes in different colors too. So if you want to check it out and looking for power bank for your trip, I'll drop the official link in the description below. And big thanks to INIU for sponsoring this part of the video. And you know, guys, I've not spoken about this on my channel yet, but a few years ago I was talking to people from Apple who developed the cameras and the UI, and told them, why don't you just give us manual controls, just something basic and anamorphic support. And also I told them maybe you can make the log videos not exclusive to ProRes and make it in something smaller in file size. To which I got a reply that these phones are used by regular people who just want to take the phone out of the pocket, take a shot, and that's it. The manual controls would confuse them a lot. Now, I think in 2025, this doesn't make any sense anymore, because you give professional codec like ProRes in the iPhone, which isn't used as much by regular people in day-to-day filming. Sure, professional people might use it, but if you're just single filming by yourself, it doesn't make any sense to film in ProRes. And at the same time, you don't want to confuse users. Make that make sense. So this iPhone 16 Pro and especially the iPhone 17 Pro have all the hardware to become my perfect and favorite pocket camera tool, but they just have to add these three things. First of all, log recording has to be smaller file size, so H.265 codec. Second, it has to be manual controls for the camera, not a separate third-party app. And number three, it has to support anamorphic disc-squeeze. Now, what about the Galaxy? S25 Ultra has the manual Pro mode, which allows you to adjust and dial in all the manual settings yourself, so you can avoid all the flicker or white balance miscalculations by the algorithm and do it on the go without any problems. While on the iPhone, you have to rely on the software to fix everything for you, or use third-party camera app like Blackmagic Camera. And this is the reason why I use the iPhone less, because if you want to use those features that Samsung supports natively, you need to download Blackmagic Camera app or something else. And while it is an amazing app and it is free, it just creates chaos over time with the file manager. Because for photos, you still have to go back into the camera app, then when you want to record video in log, you have to go into the Blackmagic Camera app. And in that regard, I find it very ironic that the Samsung Galaxy is actually a more user-friendly tool than the iPhone. So when I travel, I just don't want to think about it. And guys, you know, I took with me three phones: Xiaomi 15 Ultra, S25 Ultra, and iPhone 16 Pro. And I have not used Xiaomi as much as I thought I would. It is a nice phone and the photo processing is great, but this one has amazing battery life, and also I love that it supports freewheel accessories. However, Xiaomi on this trip, I know this video is not about Xiaomi 15 Ultra at all, but I tried it with the macro mode and there was like a small tiny ant. You barely can even see it with your eye, and it was eating a spider, and I was like, wow, I need to film this. So yeah, Xiaomi 15 Ultra just captured every single detail in macro. I don't think Samsung can offer that. On the other hand, Samsung has this nice stylus. It has amazing UI, camera interface, everything. And I think during this trip, I realized how capable this phone is for filming, for just doing all the media work, posting online, posting to Instagram as well. And yeah, I think I'll be using it more. Also, a lot of people ask me if I still use base model iPhone. And yes, I do have it with me as a backup phone just in case, but I barely used it. So you see, like, it's 7:20 p.m. and I'm still at 80% battery left here. I don't think I charged it as much during this trip either. Now, if we talk about the battery, then both phones is not something super exceptional, but S25 Ultra usually lasted longer, even though I was filming with it more and I was using anamorphic lenses and I was using all the manual settings, log recording, all that kind of stuff. So there was a lot of processing involved within this phone. But when the iPhone would run out of battery already, Samsung would still have 15 or 20% battery left, which is game changing when you're traveling. So guys, right now I got approached by a subscriber, Shuri. So we will be comparing Xiaomi with the S25 Ultra just to see how the cameras in portrait mode perform when we're taking photos against bright source of light. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and okay. Which one you like? This one? Yeah. Samsung. Okay, you know what? I was just looking at these portraits and I think I prefer Xiaomi. And Shuri, I respect your opinion and I understand why you like S25 Ultra more, but it's just a matter of preference and taste. So you guys let me know in the comments which one you prefer, S25 Ultra or Xiaomi in that case. And guys, I have so many questions from you. What is the best phone for posting to Instagram? And a lot of people say that iPhone has the best image quality while the Android is not so optimized. Well, there is some truth to that, but to be honest with you, I filmed a lot of videos on this S25 Ultra during this trip and posted it right from this phone, and I had so many DMs saying that the quality is just incredible, if not even better than the iPhone. So you can be the judge if you're curious. Here's the handle. And one thing that I noticed, which is really weird, is my last two videos I uploaded to my YouTube Shorts and I used iOS 26 liquid glass, and for some reason YouTube Shorts look really weird. I don't know why. For some reason those that I posted from iOS now really have worse quality than something I posted with previous versions of iOS or the Android. So yeah, make what you want of that, but it's only with YouTube Shorts. I don't know what's happening there. YouTube, you also have to figure it out. So which one would I travel with again? Both did well. If I'm posting casual content and want perfect consistency, then maybe iPhone makes more sense across all the social medias. But if I want more flexibility, better zoom, a stylus for editing, decent battery life, then the S25 Ultra is just way better in that case. Just look at that. It's just filming everywhere. It comes out cinematic. Just add some of my secrets in the footage and it just looks amazing. But hey, that's just my opinion. Let me know what phone would you take on your trip. Is it S25 Ultra, iPhone 16 Pro, Pro or maybe something else? See what others say in the comments too. And make sure to subscribe because I'll be dropping a full breakdown on how I got this kind of results using S25 Ultra. So subscribe and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.